Hello everybody. As of today, I would like to start a new series of tutorials related to machine learning. And I'm going to start out small since I'm also new to the subject and I want to learn along with you. So when it comes to machine learning, the Python environment is really the way to go and the way to start. And in this tutorial, we are going to see how we can install the Miniconda, which is going to work with Jupyter, and we will add machine learning capabilities with Tensorflow, and I'm going to do this on Linux since this is my main development machine. So what we are going to use, we are going to use Miniconda. This is a part of Anaconda, which is a distribution of Python. Miniconda means that it will come only with the minimum necessary libraries just to run a certain version of Python. The advantage of this Miniconda is that we are going to create an environment with Python 3.8, I think, and it's going to be really helpful if you are going to share the Jupyter Notebook with other people. You are going also to be able to share the environment with them so they can run the Jupyter notebook. That's the beauty of it. Now a Jupyter is really a graphical interface with a non-spot code evaluation, and it has some nice graphic capabilities, and it's really useful to see the code running and to validate data with plots and stuff like that. And last but not least, TensorFlow is a solid machine learning framework which is capable of training and deploying models into the web browser or cloud or any sort of machine, and it has capability of using CPU and also GPU for speeding up the training process. Okay, I'm going to start by jumping into the Anaconda website. Here we can see a couple of information about Miniconda, and I'm going to download the package for my machine. So practically I'm having a Linux 64-bit, and I'm going to copy this link address and come up with a terminal, and I'm going to install it. I want to go to downloads folder, and I'm going to use a wget to get this sh file, which is like an executable. Okay, let's wait for it to finish. All right, I don't know if we can run it. Okay, we can say let's add execution permissions for the file, and yeah, please review the license. Okay, we agree with the license. Very beautiful. Okay, and here we have to type yes in order to accept the license agreement. Okay, home will, so it will be installed in home. Not quite. I want in a bit of a different location. I want home apps, then Miniconda. No, home and my username. This is the location that I want it to be installed in. Okay, so it will now install some base packages, and what's this? Set auto activate base. No. Okay, now the package of Miniconda has been extracted. It has been unzipped over there, but if we say conda, we don't have the command, right? So in order to activate the conda's base environment, we can do this evaluation. So we get the command right in front of our eyes in here, and it says conda shell your shell name. My shell name is the bash shell. Let's see, bash. Okay, now conda seems to be activated. Okay, so right now I should have access to the conda command. Okay, that's really lovely. Now I'm going to switch to one of my folder locations in documents, and I will use the workings and I also will push this repository, this notebook to GitHub, and I'm going to create a directory named Machine Learning Tensorflow. Okay, and I'm going to change to that directory. Okay, you can see it's an empty directory. Now what we will need to do is to create an environment, a conda environment, because if we say Python, we have a version which is 3.12, but I don't want this version. Maybe I want a different one, and I want a sample, and I don't want to use the base environment. So practically for each application, for each thing that you want to do, create a new environment with a specific Python version. I'm thinking to create an environment with we can keep, let's say, Python 3.12. I don't know which is the last version of Python latest version, which is the one. 3.12. Okay, so be it. If it's a 3.12, that's fine. I'm not having any issue with that. Let's do the conda creation, and this is the command. We say conda create. -n is the environment name, and we will create an environment with the name ml tensor, or just mlt from TensorFlow, doesn't really matter. And we can specify the Python version number, and we can say Python equals 3.12. So this is the environment, the Python version that we want in our environment. Right now, if we issue this command, it will proceed on creating the environment. We have to hit yes. We want this environment to be created, and we need to wait for it to be activated. Okay, now it's going to not be activated, it's going to be created. We can say conda list, I suppose. No, env list. So this is where we can see our environments. We can see we are now on the base environment, and this base environment is contained directly in the Miniconda folder. And the environment NLT, which we created right now, it's contained in Miniconda ems MLT. Okay, our MLT is not activated, and we should activate it with the command conda activate MLT. We can also notice that this text from here was changed from base to MLT, which is correct since we are now in a different environment. And if we say Python -version, we have the version that we created. Okay, and if we want to go back to the base environment, we can say conda deactivate. Yeah, and we have now switched to the base environment. And if we hit Python version -version, we see that it's the same version, but we can create another environment. Let's say if we want Python 9, so that's the beauty of it. If we want another environment like Python 3.9, we can say, let's say Py 3.9 with the conda create. Yes, we proceed. Okay, let's activate this new environment and see what is the version of Python version, right? Python -1 version. Yes, so you can see we have a different version of Python. And this is why we use Conda. We don't really want to have Python installed globally because it will create some issues if we need an older version of Python or a specific one or whatever. It's going to create issues if we have multiple projects, if you're working in different kinds of environments and these projects require different Python versions and libraries. It's going to be a mess. And this is why we use Conda, and it's a practice throughout the industry. So everybody is going to use Conda to some extent. Okay. Now it's time to activate our environment, which was the MLT. Okay, now it's active. And it's about time to install Jupyter Notebook. And this can be installed with the pip command, and it's really easy. We can say install notebook. And it's going to collect all the required packages, and it will proceed with the installation for us. We need to wait for it to finish. Cool, it seems to be done. Let's see if we can start this. Okay, we need to say this is the command that we need to issue in order to do this. Okay, and if we navigate to localhost quadruple 8, so 888, we should be able to see our notebook. Okay, what does it require? Set up a password. Well, I don't want to set up a complicated password. I will say just like machine learning. Now with capital machine learning. So I'm going to paste it right here. Login and see what happens. But I don't want to set up any password. What's the matter with this dude? Token. Okay, we have this token. Okay, come on. Has been opened in another window. Okay, token. Oh yeah, that is really awesome. So we have everything running at the moment. Now, one thing to note here. So where we know where we are in this repository, and we have practically no file. When we see this web interface, this is kind of linked to our current repository from which we ran the command. So from which we started the Jupyter Notebook command. If we create a file like echo hello and we say hello.txt, we should be able to see it here somehow. Look, yeah. And we can also open it and we can edit it. This edit comes from Jupyter Notebook. Okay, and we can see hit save. And if we have a look over the content, yeah, we can see that our changes have been saved directly to the disk. And this is really powerful, a powerful tool for evaluating your code and having resources like data, CSV files, and all kinds of stuff which a Python project might require, and this will come in very, very handy. Now the next step will be to practically create a new notebook with Python 3, right? And this is yet now untitled, but we can say, I don't know, basics TensorFlow. And we can use commands, Python commands to say hello. Yeah, so whenever we hit Control Enter, it will evaluate what we are, what code, Python code we are writing here. We can create another one, let's say like 8 plus 1. It will evaluate to 9. So this is really, really powerful. That it's a powerful tool, and we can leverage it to install TensorFlow. I think we can run pip command directly in here. So pip install I suppose it's TensorFlow. Look, so this is like we would call it from the command line, but we directly in Jupyter. So it's really, really cool. And look at the integration. You can see very nicely all the progress and what the steps it does in order to install TensorFlow, which is pretty cool, I would say. Fast forwarding a bit, we can see our command has finished and we have TensorFlow installed. And I also notice one text here saying that we might need to restart the kernel. Just to be on the safe side, we can restart the kernel from this button right here, which is like a refresh button, and it should be restarted. Right now, let's see how if TensorFlow was installed correctly. And if we go to this page, this is the quick start for the beginners in TensorFlow 2. So let's see if we can run this command first. So if we say import TensorFlow as TF, where is our this is the first command, and we will also print the version. Where was that? Here. So we will use this, paste it here, and shift enter. Okay, I hope this unable to register. Okay, I suppose it's okay. I hope it will work. I don't know exactly if these errors are ignorable or not. Yeah, I suppose they are fine. Okay. Let's try to be ambitious and let's load this dataset. Okay, we don't see any error, which is fine. And let's take some training data. And I can directly modify this cell here. Okay, so it's going to download it from the Google API storage. Let's see. I suppose, is it done? I think it's done. And let's build a model. So I'm going just to copy paste these commands here in order to make sure that our TensorFlow installation is working. Let's see, shift. Okay. I think this is just a warning, and Okay. And let's see predictions. We have anything like that? Array. I think we can see some data. Yeah. So it should be just fine. Although I just blindly copy pasted these commands and I don't know exactly what they are doing. There is a learning curve for sure, because there's a lot of terminology and lots of commands that you need to know in order to get through this machine learning thing. But I suppose our thing with the TensorFlow will work just fine. Loss function. Yeah, we can see some output. Then we need to compile the model. Yes, compilation. We can then model fit. This is when we train actually the model with the training data. And it will use 5 epochs, so 5 big learning steps in order to be able to predict something. Okay. And let's see some evaluate. Okay. I suppose this accuracy is quite good. Yeah. And let's run a couple of more commands. Prediction probability model. Okay. Yes, so we have a shape. It's a shape of floats and blah blah blah. Okay, so we managed to train a machine learning model using a pre-built dataset and leveraging Keras API. For sure, there is a lot of learning stuff to be done, and I want you to bear with me, since I'm going to do my own research and I'm going to come up with some tutorials for machine learnings, which I suppose they will be useful for you if you are a beginner, and you can also let me know in the comments if you have any other suggestions. If you are an expert in the field, that would be really useful for me, since I want to learn a lot more stuff about this subject, and for sure it's going to be an interesting journey. And as a side note, what I will try to do is that I'm not a big, fan, or not really good in Python. I will try to leverage the JavaScript version of TensorFlow, since if I'm also doing this, I'm going to use JavaScript in other projects which are already in JavaScript, and it will be much more useful for me to learn it directly in JavaScript, so that I can use it also in other projects. And yeah, thank you for watching, and let me know if you have any other suggestions down below. And if you want to support this channel, you are free to use the like button and subscribe. It will mean the world to me. And thank you very much, and have a pleasant day.